Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and today we're going to be doing a little bit more faster than light, and it's going to be a little bit different this time because we're going to be doing some post-commentary style. Due to a recording error while I was trying to fix Bandicam for another game, I pretty much accidentally cut off my mic recording. So we're going to be doing another episode of winning with ships that I haven't won with, or at least dying trying. And today we're going to be doing the Red Tail, and instead of that we're going to be doing let's see here. I think I named the ship Red Wolf. It's sort of, I don't know, like Airwolf, the horrible helicopter television show. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a different style for me than normal. I hope you don't mind, but I have not finished this game yet. I did catch it midway through that I had stopped, or I had recorded without sound, so I'm trying. That's the reason there's a little bit of a delay. But the Red Tail's a ship I haven't won with yet. Much like the last run with the NGB, which I do appreciate all the feedback that I got from people on Reddit and comments that, yeah, I screwed that run up so bad. I wasted scrap. Instead of spending it on necessary defense because the NGB needs defense, I went, firebomb. Even though I only had like 6 bombs in my inventory, and I don't even think I ever shot one off. Oh, excuse me. So we're just going to start here. Try and say no to the slavers, and if we can get another crew member this early, that's great. Now, one of the strengths of the Red Tail, as you probably know, is that it fries things in the early game because it has 4 lasers. I mean, lasers are just so good in this game. And I know some people have mentioned before that maybe they'd like to see missiles have a little more use because missiles are kind of a disfavored weapon for a lot of people, but all I'm going to do here is just pew pew pew, quick fire, and let's see here, accept their surrender, so I get an NG. That means, alright, I can take my Mantis off shields. And I don't mind having a Mantis on a system like that. I mean, they level up just as well as anything. The problem is when you have to repair. So that's why I move the Mantis on there and jump straight to a star. And there's an auto drone, but I should be able to take this guy out quickly enough. Unfortunately, the fire is going to hurt me a lot more than him, but the nice thing about basic lasers is that they're fast, and you get 4 of them early, so that's going to pretty much tear through 1 shield, even 2 shields. Kind of the challenge for the Kestrel B, and something that I've had problems with anytime I've run it, is just trying to... Okay, that's an okay place for a fire. But pretty much the challenge I've run into is just trying to transition from the early game weaponry to something a little better and surviving, which I guess is the key point in FTL is, hey, can we survive this? It's always a hope. So, another jump. Don't really see a lot in the way of stores, but let's aid the civilian ship, and it's a little slug pirate, so this is going to be an easy fight. Now, you may see a few jumps in the recording as well. That's because one of the reasons it took me a little bit of time to get to the post-commentary for this episode is because I've been sick. First it was allergies, and then it was legit actual sickness. So you may have heard in a few recordings where I was actually having trouble speaking, or I'd have to pause and cough, and I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that you all didn't have to hear me going ah through the whole thing. I mean, there's a few other recordings I did that I would have really liked to have had my audio commentary there, Terraria specifically, because I got a lot of editing that I'll have to catch up with that now. But we'll just go here and blast stuff in space for now, and I guess this fight surprised me. I mean, it's Sector 1, so I shouldn't have that high expectations, but I wonder if they just have like a zillion repair or anti-personnel drones on the ship. Without a lot of repairs, or without scanners, it's hard to say, but I'm used to having like horrifying drones trying to attack me, but as it is, the ship can't hurt me, which is why I go for the shields first. And it looks like they do have repair drones at the speed they're repairing their shields, but it's not going to matter because they're going to die. So 17 scrap, we're up to 51. If we can find a store, get an early transporter, that'll be nice. Because I can transport with a Mantis and a human, that's okay. And these guys are trying to run away, and this is another ship that, I don't know, the Rebels just don't seem to want to hurt me. Or maybe they're just like, hey, look, it's a rebel-painted Kestrel ship. Wait, it's a Kestrel. Why is it attacking us? I guess it's one of the underestimated, easily missed things for the Kestrel B is that it's the way its paint style mimics the Rebel ships. So let's just blast this down, and we'll move on to the next jump. Not that hard of a fight, but The Kestrel's strength is the early game. You just gotta make sure you don't screw yourself. So there's that one. Still no stores, we'll hit the distress beacon. And giant alien spiders, I could do it on this run. I actually do a few irresponsible things later, but at least for now, early, I'm still remembering my goal here is to win with this ship. So let me take just a very quick pause. Or actually, no, we won't do that. We'll just keep it rolling here. And just try and go around, because this is an automated drone. Nothing too fancy about that. Just gotta have my poor Mantis repair the oxygen. It's the burst laser from hell, so correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't a problem. It's a big-ass problem, because now my ship's on fire, my crew's dying. I kinda gotta evac or put out fires or something. Because that cloak plus burst laser is a nasty, nasty combo. But, I mean, like all other things, it's something that I can deal with. Yep, just gotta blow it up and keep it going. So we survived. That was kind of our first hard encounter there. It's like, oh, burst laser 2. It's always the burst laser 2, but at least we have air back in the ship. If I can just... Am I going to remember to put oxygen back in my ship? 44, 43, everyone's getting repaired. There we go. Let's not suffocate ourselves. But still, even with all the fires, even with all the crazies going on, I actually didn't take too much hull damage from that, so I did end up okay. And without stores in sight... Let me just check here. Yeah, without stores in sight, it's looking like I'm probably going to upgrade my engines here. Because if there is a store, it's probably just somewhere tucked in a corner. But with 4 lasers, I can attack kind of so fast that usually I can disable weapons before they get a shot off. I mean, basic lasers are weak, but they're fast. You got to use that to your advantage early here. And I actually managed to shoot down a missile before it came up, so there's the best offense being, or defense being a good offense. It's a nice touch. Unfortunately, with rock plating, it's really hard to pin down systems, so do I switch my weapons in time? Maybe. Okay, so they're trying to run away, and that surrender offer sucks. So I just gotta blast them out of the sky now. Here we go. That's better, even though 3 fuel wouldn't have been terrible, and that's a weird connection. I mean, those... I'm not sure what's connected, and this is the part of the episode where I do say yes, there is an option to show what nodes are around, and what your future jump looks like, but there I guess I'm probably saying something insightful about, is this connected to one thing or the other? Let's play it safe and just go back to the jump we already went to. Because I don't want to fight a rebel ship that quickly, or this early in the game. Not when the run's going about as well as you hope. So for 3 missiles, 7 fuel, yeah, I was about to say, but it would have been crazy not to take that. So still no store, so I don't know where the Sector 1 store was, but I must have just missed it. And then nothing, and that was connected. Yes, I don't have that option on because it's a more interesting game for me just to not know. That's alright. So, not getting drone parts, we're just going to go to the next sector. Which, Mantis or Rock? I actually do have a map that would be viable for a Crystal crew member / Crystal homeworld, so I decided to go for it. Going to the Rock controlled sector because you can get a damaged stasis pod there. So, immediate store. Just depends on what they have, whether it's some kind of weapon or they have a transporter. Could go for the firebomb again, but we're not going to do that this time. Let's see here. So, waving around the mouse a lot, I guess. Yeah, crew transporter. That's the smart move. I'm not going to get any fuel. And we got our boarding team, because engines are kind of a lower priority for me right now. Let's go ahead and just... My next goal likely is to get my shields up, but a Sector 2 transport team like this is going to pay dividends in the long run in a big way. So let's hop around, let's see this guy. Just gotta wait for the fight to start. Because that may or may not be a dual laser, but for some reason I'm pausing while that be to transport on there. So we got actual rock people on there, so I'm gonna start going for the ship kill. Which this is a little dangerous to do without having level 2 sensors. That's gonna be a wise upgrade. Unless I can somehow get a slug. And what I'm trying to do there is just to shoot the guy that I know is repairing in there. But the room's actually on fire, which hurts me infinitely more than it hurts a rock person. So I just gotta make sure poor Zast doesn't die here. But our rock guy's smart, he'll fire back on my guy. So gotta make sure I don't kill my crew. 30 scrap. That is a great haul for this stage of the game. Just heal up and move to the next fight. And I am making a concerted effort to try and play my games just a little faster. So even though my guys aren't fully meted up, I'm still gonna let them heal between jumps, because that's a bit of a time saver. Because it's not like I'm boarding immediately. I am gonna fire with my lasers first, especially with one shield versus this loadout. That pike beam can do a lot of damage. Oh, oxygen out again. So I can't actually drag and drop my people correctly. So where am I going to put my people this time? Alright, so kind of the same fight as before. Except this time I accidentally let all of my lasers fire. But that time rock plating saved my butt. Unfortunately it got hit by 4 weapons and then repaired, which is a little bizarre to me, but we'll fight this guy here, maybe not. See, those shots did at least hurt that guy quite a bit. Don't underestimate the ability to use weapons, your own system's weapons, to supplement your boarding crew's damage. It's a good strategy to invoke. So we got 64 scrap, it's probably shield time. So let's go ahead and jump. I really need to start using the jump hotkey, which I think intuitively is actually the letter J. So nothing here. Stress beacon. And then we get a damaged stasis pod event, so we search the ship and we actually do get the stasis chamber, so that's pretty cool. Damaged stasis pod. So now we have a shot to get to the Crystal homeworlds, or at least get a crew member. But we're not going to kill ourselves trying to do it. It's not like I'm in desperation. I want to unlock the Crystal ship mode, like maybe I've done in the past. And there's another store. Let's see here. I could go to it now, or I could try and farm some scrap first. The Kestrel B doesn't come with a lot to sell, so I may not be able to do too much. So, getting boarded, which getting boarded in the cockpit is not good, especially when I haven't upgraded my doors, and especially when I misclick multiple times. And that missile launcher is bad news. Not even sure if boarding's gonna matter too much in this run, or this fight. Even though the extra scrap would be nice, and I apologize for bumping the mic there. I do actually want to tell you that I did purchase a new mic. It's in the mail, so hopefully my audio will be a little more consistent in the near future. So let's see, we gotta up our med bay. So yeah, there we go. And Burst Laser Mark 1. That is a lucky find. So it's here, 64. And I think I do make a fundamental mistake here. Let's see, because the burst laser as a gonna go there. I have scrap to spare, but if I'm remembering this right, what you want to do, if there's a store a jump away and you got about 50 scrap, it's a good idea to jump to the store, just because 50 scrap will buy you a lot of stuff that's really useful. But I think instead I opt to upgrade my doors just out of fear a little bit of getting boarded like that again. Which isn't of the worst play in the world, it's just I'm going to have a few regrets here in just a moment, I feel like. So what's in the store that we just spent all of our scrap on? I don't know why I just hit escape there. That's probably me coughing, actually. Okay, so what's in the store? Scrap recovery arm! I totally could have gotten a scrap recovery arm if I hadn't upgraded my shit. But because I did, I could have even probably gotten the door upgrade as well, even with selling stuff. But, alas, I will not be able to get 10% extra scrap in Sector 2 with an early transport. That would have done really good things for me in the future, but misplayed that, so now we get one of my least favorite events where something tries to bore onto the ship, but fortunately it doesn't kill any of our crew, because usually my luck is that it forces us to kill one of our boarding team. But instead we get spare scrap, and now I get to wonder how close am I to fucking up the exit. Just go over here first. And more boarding teams, so this jump isn't going to do a lot for us. So what I could almost do is just let these guys suffocate a little bit and then jump whenever the star decides to explode. Because that lack of air softened them up just enough, I think. I'm not exactly sure what cutesy stuff I'm trying to do there, but so hull repair drone, that'd be a good thing to sell to get a scrap recovery arm, but let's see here, 1 down, 2 down, my guy will be okay. So we'll just do a quick repair and then jump to the next sector as soon as we do something with our upgrade. Probably should get level 2 sensors. I don't think I do that yet. Like I said, this is post-commentary. So. Or I could get another level in my weapons. Yeah. So I haven't actually equipped my burst laser yet. I think that's because it's going to give me the same number of shots. 4 and 4. But I'm going to hit the... I don't think I'm going to do the Uncharted Nebula just because it's harder to transport and kill things, whereas the Mantis controlled sector I could possibly leave with another Mantis crew member. So what's it going to be? I'm thinking it's probably going to be the Mantis sector. I'm probably weighing my options on what red is at the end, because I have a lot of options for possibly unlocking the containment thingy-mabob, whatever it's called, with my stasis pod, because you can do that in a green sector, but the rock home worlds has to be red. Okay, so more power back in there. I have level 2 sensors, so I at least know what's coming. The store's not going to do me a lot of good. Except that I need fuel, and that was me coughing my brains out, so sorry about the jump there. And this is a pretty terrifying ship, because it has a ton of lasers, and it was able to cloak. And it's trying to jump away. So the question is, how badly do I want to die today? And I can't just not engage the ship because I need fuel. Right now with less than ideal. So just less than ideal in general. I'm going to take a lot of damage here probably. But I do manage to delay their FTL. The problem is that they're going to get a ton of laser shots off in just a moment. And I haven't turned back on my basic laser either, so that's kind of a fail on my part. There we go. So lots of damage. I'm very lucky that those bombs keep missing. I need to resync my shots. So that burst laser is a nightmare right now. There we go. Safer position. So I am going to emerge victorious from this somehow. I do manage to disable their cloaks, so now I just got to keep them from actually running away because the jump's imminent. Do they get away? No, barely. So delayed it just enough. We got a lot of hurt people here, but should be alright. So 2 stores, neither of these are going to do me a lot of good. Other than for fuel. So it's probably a better idea to board here. That halberd beam could do a lot of work if that's a dual laser. And what I like to do is to board, try and force the repair if possible, but fortunately nobody's going to help the poor Mantis who's in the cockpit. And that NG's just going to run around and try and repair. There is no med bay, so nothing too awful here, just a pretty standard run and gun. Just got to watch my fuel. And see, by taking that laser out, I don't get halberd beam. That can pierce your shields just like yours theirs, and 6 fuel saves my butt. Unfortunately, though, I do... Yep, I am dead-ended, but I am not caught by the rebel fleet, so that is the one saving grace. But because I did get a lot of fuel, I can choose one store, one of these 2. Sorry for bumping the mic yet again. That'll be nice when I have a new mic because it's not going to be on my face, so I won't necessarily hit it like this. But, let's see here. Repair arm, long-range scanners. It's one of the few things I would have bought in that situation, given that I do need repairs. But the whole repair drone sells for a lot. And if I was smart, I'd probably go ahead and sell one of my burst lasers. But that would involve me being smart, so save 50 scrap for the system upgrade, probably. Yep, there we go. And then we can go ahead and swap equipment and sell one of those for 10 more scrap. So we have 5 laser shots now. I have to micro my energy a little bit more, but that's okay. We got our people back ready to go if I can drag and drop correctly. So for some reason I didn't sell the basic laser, but there'll be other stores. Okay, so dislodge the ship, and we succeed. Yay! Distress beacon down here. Rebels are kind of on my ass, so gotta watch out for that. But I have an NG crew who can actually fix this. So I'm at 60 scrap now, and I just remember, hey, I have long-range scanners. Let's avoid the asteroid field. Yeah, let's avoid the asteroid field. Be smart. So let's see here. Piracy, let's demand they surrender their goods, and go ahead and say, wow, that is a lot of lasers. I think those are just basic lasers like me, but I don't want that with the pike beam there. Now the burst laser is a little off with my basic lasers, but not far enough to make a significant difference in how I shoot. At least on the first rotation. So, but I gotta watch that going ahead, because the first volley, it's fine, it kind of follows up, but later on it's not a lot of good. Now I should be able to board on here in just a second, especially with the ship fire. But my worry is that these guys are going to try and jump. And we definitely don't want that. So probably the smarter move is to try and take out the cockpit here. There we go. So let's see if these guys stay on fire for very long. Okay. Just soften them up and take them out. Because their FTL's not going to charge if they don't have anyone in the cockpit. So 20 scrap, and we get ship map info, which I don't know if that does a ton for us, but it does something. And I think here is where I did something pretty stupid. Because obviously, if you're looking there, it's a matter of, you know, I could go to the exit and make it out now. This one may or may not be connected to the exit. Remember, I don't have that setting on. That's my choice. Or I could go to a nasty-looking jump right there. So if those two are connected, I'm good and I can escape in time. It's a calculated risk, and hindsight's 20/20. But for now, we do have an especially easy fight because these guys decide to jump into the shield room. But the next step's just going to be killing the Engie, which is not hard. So, hello little friend. Won't take me that long at all. So 34 scrap. We're at 114. That's really good. Actually smart in repairing all of my people for once. But, you see, I kind of screwed myself because I'm not connected, so I am going to have to do some upgrading here. And I decided to upgrade my engines because I want, if I do have to fight the rebels, and it's an especially nasty ship, I want to be able to get out of there as fast as possible. I normally do not upgrade my engines this much this early. This is a covering for my mistakes kind of thing. So we're next to a star. We'll see how this goes. So that's a pretty crappy place for them to transport. Especially when my ship is going to be on fire in just a moment. So I'm going to try and suffocate them out. Or at least drive them to my med bay. They're not going to be able to take out my engine. Suddenly I'm very thankful for having extra engine health, and for some reason they're going straight for my weapon room, and if I were really smart here, I would actually lock those guys in and turn off my oxygen. I don't know if that's what I do, though. I do have to reroute power because I took the Zoltan out there. So let's see. They do have a med bay. I think I didn't realize that or pay attention to it until after they boarded. So here comes the sun. I don't know if it's going to do me any favors. I'm just going to keep trying to take the oxygen out of rooms here. Sorry about the coughing. So overall, not as bad as it could be. Unfortunately, the solar flare did not take out their transporter or med bay, so these guys could heal up momentarily. I mean, this ship isn't going to hurt me right now. Just need to put out that one fire myself. And I need to shoot through this room. Okay, so their med bay's out. I just gotta hope that I can kill them fast and get out, and hope that that ship doesn't explode. Because it's pretty fucking close to dying with my boarding crew on there. I didn't realize I'd cut it that close. You never want to if you can, but with that star there exploding like that, I'm in a terrible position to have to jump into the rebel fleet. So, did I make a mistake? You bet your ass I did. So, let's sigh and let's go this way. So, rebel fleet, and this is a terrible fight. So you're going to see here, any second now, I'm just going to shut down my weapons and say, F this, I'm out of here. We're just going to try and tank as much damage as we can. I'm not going to bother boarding. Winning this engagement will only give me like 20 score and 1 fuel. And that music jumps from me hacking and coughing again. So as soon as my O2 is restored to rooms, I can put my guys back on systems. I probably should have left my Zoltan in there. Yeah, we'll put Beth back in there just because it saves things. And I don't know why my Engie is in the engine room, but he is. that little bit of extra dodge chance, I guess. Kind of outsmarted myself there. So just got to get out of the line of fire, as of course we have now an engine fire, which is not at all what we want. We want to be able to escape. We do not want a burst laser 5 coming to kill me. Or burst laser Mark 3. Right now our little NG guy's in trouble. By a lot, and he could actually die if this missile goes the wrong way. Oh, but it fortunately only hit our transporter and punched a hole in it. So, shields are salvaged. We have another guy who's about to die, but I may be able to make it out of here in time. Okay, so just trying to squeeze out. There we go, jump. Alright, so we're going to go to the NG-controlled sector because that's the one that can possibly unlock this stasis pod, but the more important thing is to get the hell out because we went from having a really good life situation to not so much, given a few jumps. But that's going to be all for this episode, and I'll pick up with more post-commentary for the next part of doing the Red Wolf with Faster Than Light. This is Way to Fail. I will see you all next time.